Revenge films.
I live with my husband at his parents' house. Everyone's really nice to me. I hear lots of stories about the struggles of living with your in-laws, but not me. I guess I was one of the lucky ones. But then, one day during dinner, my husband said,
"I wish I was a housewife. I bet it's super easy."
It came out of nowhere. Looks like someone from work told him something.
All you gotta do is cook, clean, and look after the kids. Anyone can do that.
And his dad seemed to agree with him. They went on and on like this. They complained about how hard work was and how tough it was being a guy. My husband, his parents, his brother and sister, and our 3 daughters lived in the same house. We were a family of 9. It was a pretty big family. My father-in-law still worked full-time. My mother-in-law gave piano lessons at the house. I was a housewife for the most part. When my mother-in-law didn't have lessons, I asked her to watch the kids so I could go and help out my parents with their business. They lived 10 minutes away. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law were about to lose it, so I ran over and told them to settle down. Alright then, if it's so easy, try it. Usually I wake up at 5 a.m. and cook breakfast and lunch for 9 people. Then I do the laundry, clean the entire house, take the twins to school, go grocery shopping with their 2-year-old and your mother, pick up the twins from school, come home and cook dinner. Easy, right? My husband stayed silent for a while, but he replied,
Easy. But I got work, so no can do.
To which I replied, what about the long vacation next month? He went quiet again. My husband got a 10-day vacation a few times a year, but this year it was more like 15 days due to other national holidays. He started panicking.
Well, it's my vacation, so I want to take it slow, you know.
But then his younger sister said,
"You said it was easy. Do it then."
She had my back. Then my mother-in-law said to her husband, "You too, dear. If it's so easy, help him." They couldn't say anything back to us. Finally, they gave up and said,
Okay.
After dinner, I explained the grocery budget to them. The next day I took them around the house and showed them what they had to do. I also told them that I'd be going back to my parents' place to help out with their business during this period. Any questions?
No.
They seemed really upset. They probably thought I'd stick around and help them out from time to time. Day 1. I woke up at 6 a.m. and went into the kitchen. My husband was cooking breakfast. He wasn't bad at cooking. He looked at me and said,
Looks good, right?
He even made lunch for everyone. He said this way we could save more money. He even packed lunch for his brother who was still in college.
Food from convenience stores are bad for you. He's family. You should pack lunch for him every day. You're just too lazy.
But his girlfriend brings him lunch every day, so I don't think he goes to convenience stores to buy lunch. Plus, there's a school cafeteria too, so I guess he didn't know that. I told you the other day. Plus, your mother doesn't need lunch today. She told you yesterday. You forgot already?
Really?
Yes. Also, bacon and egg is fine for breakfast, but for lunch too? I don't know. Usually I don't use leftovers from breakfast for lunch. I don't mind, but I'm not sure about how everyone else is gonna feel. Your dad has high blood pressure, so maybe you should reconsider. I was really enjoying this. Then I noticed there was a lunchbox that looked different from the other ones. When I asked him about it, he said,
Katie is allergic to eggs, right?
Huh? I didn't know what to say anymore. She used to be allergic to eggs for a little while, but not anymore. I told you, didn't I? She's your daughter. How could you forget that? He was speechless. Then the kids started waking up. He started feeding them breakfast, but the twins and Katie were out of control. He came crying to me for help. Getting 5-year-olds and 2-year-olds to eat is pretty tough, but I guess he didn't know that. I'm not surprised though. He never helped me with any of it, so I decided to ignore him and let him suffer. After all, it was his job to feed them today, not mine. He was exhausted by the time breakfast was over, but he still had to take the twins to kindergarten and do the laundry. He started doing the laundry around 10:30 a.m., but when his brother came home from school at around 2 p.m., he still wasn't finished. I don't blame him though. Have you ever done laundry for 9 people? It's pretty tough. He was struggling a lot. I told him everything he needed to know, but I guess he wasn't listening. For dinner, he made fried chicken, potato salad, and soup. But the chicken was only half cooked and the potatoes were still hard. I couldn't let my family get food poisoning, so I stepped in, microwaved the chicken, and mashed the potatoes myself. He was so useless. All he could do was stand there in silence as I fixed his mistakes. The next morning, he made the same exact thing for breakfast. For dinner, he just got some frozen food from the grocery store and microwaved it. He said he was too busy doing other things in the house. Day 4. Finally, his mother and sister couldn't take it anymore. The house was a mess and his cooking was just terrible. His sister was trying to lose weight, but all he served for dinner was deep-fried frozen food. And her clothes were all wrinkled up because he didn't know how to dry them properly.
You should be grateful for your wife.
You said it was easy, didn't you? But you're useless. I couldn't say anything back to them. This was my moment to strike back. I went on and on about how hard it was being a housewife and taking care of everyone.
I'm so sorry. I'll never say those things again. I'm really sorry.
Wow, now, don't tell me you're giving up now. You still got 3 weeks left. Good luck, I replied. He was about to lose his mind. It was actually pretty funny to watch. But he made a deal, so there's no backing out now. He kept apologizing to me after that, but I made him keep his end of the deal. Seeing all this, his father had a change of heart too. On weekends, he started helping around the house. On the last day, they came and apologized to me. Everyone else told me how grateful they were for everything I did for them. I was really happy to hear that, and so, things finally went back to normal. I was back to being a full-time housewife. But the thing is, even during the 15-day period, I still had to keep a close eye on my husband when he cooked. I couldn't let my kids eat raw meat after all. Plus, I helped him clean too. He always missed a spot or two. And sometimes, I went to pick up the kids myself because they were just too slow with their housework. Anyways, they realized that being a housewife wasn't easy. That's more than enough for me. Today, they help me out whenever they get a chance. And the kids really enjoyed having their dad around the house too. I actually enjoy living here with my husband's family, and I work really hard to keep the house nice and clean, so I just couldn't let my husband get away with what he said. I was pretty angry at first, but now I'm happy that they realized their mistakes. Plus, his mom and sister helped me out a lot too. I couldn't have done this without their help, that's for sure. My mother-in-law has always been good to me, and the same goes for my husband's brother and sister. And after this incident, my husband and his father started helping around the house too, so I guess everything worked out.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.